We are living in a perfection society, and I think that's a huge reason of what's keeping some of us stuck. Everything has to be perfect. The perfect workout plan, the perfect morning routine, the perfect planner, the perfect schedule. And I'm not gonna lie, I have fallen off the beaten path of the lock-in. I'm not lazy, and I'm pretty sure you're not lazy, even though we do have our times. And the answer to this is not to push yourself harder. The answer is to create systems and plans that actually make your life easier. Because you don't need another planner. You need a plan that you're actually going to stick to. And I think one of the biggest things to kick this off with is you are not your productivity. Sometimes you do need that mental health rest break for the day or for the hour. And that doesn't make you lazy. Go have the ice cream. Go have lunch with your friends. Go lay on the couch if you need to. Sometimes you're just overwhelmed and overworked. And when you're in conditions like that, your productivity honestly isn't the best. You're not even operating at your best. Sometimes the best thing we can do is step away, take a moment, take a breather, catch ourselves, and then go back. Locking in doesn't mean not taking a break. It means acknowledging when you need to take a break so that way you can be the best version of you. This actually brings me to my favorite book, Atomic Habits. I have reread that book probably 3 or 4 times now. It is such a great read. And one of the biggest takeaways that I took from that book is that we tend to overestimate what we can get done in such a short period of time, and we tend to underestimate what we can accomplish in an entire year. You don't necessarily have to transform your lives in 2 weeks, and I wouldn't. And sometimes people that make the biggest changes aren't the most motivated. They're just people who keep showing up every day. And one idea that I really love from the book was not focusing on the outcome, but focusing on who you want to become. Instead of saying, I want to lose weight, think, I'm somebody who cares about my body. Instead of saying, I want to be a successful creator, think, I'm someone who consistently creates. Because when something becomes a part of your identity, it becomes much easier to maintain. Another one of my biggest implementation is to make the decision once. If you know you're going to work out in the morning, take out the clothes the night before. That way you don't have to give it any thought when you get up. If you know that you want to eat better, when you get down the cookie aisle, walk past the Oreos. If you know you want to create content consistently, then we need to make a plan of exactly what we want to film so we can execute that content consistently. If we want to save better money, then we need to make sure we have a plan before we head out of the house, because we don't need to be in the middle of Target with a basket that's full. The goal is not to rely on willpower on itself. The goal is to make the right decision, the easy decision. And we need to talk about social media. Sometimes we feel like we're behind, and we're actually not behind. It's because we're so caught up in consuming someone else's life. Someone else waking up at 5 a.m., someone else going on that vacation, someone else starting a business, someone else getting that dream apartment. And we're not in tune with what's going on in our life because we're too busy worrying about someone else. And we feel like our life is inadequate. We need to take a step back and zone in on what you're doing, not what they're doing. What are your goals? Focus on your goals. There's a quote, I think. One moment. Comparison is the thief of joy. And I do believe in that. Consume social media at your free will, but there has to be a cutoff point. Screen time is one of the best things that I have set up. If you have it on an iPhone, I believe they have it on Android. Don't shade me. I don't know too much about Android, but set it up. Maybe you allow yourself in an entire day, an hour on TikTok. Once you reach that screen time, get off. Same thing for other social media accounts that you have or any other apps on your phone that get you distracted. Set up screen time. You need to focus on yourself. And if there's one thing that I would recommend doing before the year is out, is figuring out what your non-negotiables are. It's not 15 things. It's not a 47-step morning routine. It's 3 to 5 things that you can get done throughout the day, throughout the week, that make you feel motivated, productive, and like you're getting things done. For me, that may look like doing some content creation, keeping my space clean, moving my body, and your list may look completely different, and that's okay. But the goal is to have things that you're able to check off when life gets a little bit chaotic, because you're not going to have perfect days. The goal of this is to have systems that keep you from falling off. And I wanted to read off something that I wrote actually down on my laptop. Success is usually a product of daily choices, not dramatic breakthroughs. A 1% improvement doesn't feel significant in the moment, but over months and years, those small decisions compound. The direction matters more than today's results. You don't need the entire year to win, you just need today. That was a moment. Atomic Habits. That was a moment. And that's what this video is about. You don't need to wait until January 1st to start planning what it is that you're trying to get accomplished and start executing. You still have months left in this current year. Imagine where you would be if you just started now. You don't need a new year. You don't need a new planner. You don't need a new identity. You need to just start showing up for yourself today. And you're not going to reach every goal. That is okay. I'd rather say that I tried than realize I spent the last few months waiting for the perfect time to start. So if you're feeling a little lost, a little lazy, this is your sign to get back on the trail. Not overnight, not perfectly, just consistently. Pick 3 to 5 things that you're trying to get done or that matter to you. Make a plan, create the system, make the decision easier. The goal isn't to become a completely different person by the end of the year. It's to become more like the person that you're wanting to be. There's still time left, and honestly, I think it's more than enough time. Let's lock in. Be sure to leave a comment down below, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.